classic example was Chernobyl, where I was actually physically with Dr. King in Arizona when it happened. And just before it happened, an hour or so before it happened, he received a communication preparing. He wasn't told it would be Chernobyl. He has been given specifics in other occasions. In this occasion, he wasn't, but he was told it's going to be a dire catastrophe. You have to send out spiritual energy in cooperation with extraterrestrial craft so that they can intervene. Now, we were doing this for several days, and it was several days before the world knew about Chernobyl. This was 1986. It was terrible, Chernobyl, but it could have been many, many times worse. So we published that in 1986. 16 years later, the Russian journal Pravda published an article in which they said that when Chernobyl happened, there was a crowd of people saw above it a UFO that emitted a pink beam into it, and this caused a steam explosion instead of a full nuclear explosion in that particular power plant, and this reduced the impact of Chernobyl fourfold.
Wow.
But I that we didn't know that in 1980, but we did know that we'd cooperated with them. So it's that cooperation that can help to bring about intervention.
Interesting. A couple of questions came in from the audience. This is from someone named B in France. Do you think that when one arrives, quote, then they would be moving on from earthly existence, as in, they have accomplished what they came here for and would no longer need to be here?
Very good question. Yeah. If one arrives, I would take to be that what I would call a full and complete state of cosmic consciousness. Then one would move on beyond the need to reincarnate. And I do mean a full and complete. I mentioned that I've had cosmic consciousness experiences, but I know for sure that they aren't complete. That I know from my own, I know that I haven't completely transmuted all the energy in all the chakras and taken it up, just to be technical about it, with the power of Kundalini into Brahma chakra. But I know I've done it to a degree. Now, when a person, through lives, is able to do that completely, such a person has demonstrated internally that they no longer need to go through the process of rebirth and they can move on. So to come to B's question, the answer is yes, if you really arrived, you'll actually know all too well how much further you have to go, of course, but it won't necessarily entail the kind of experiences you've had to that date because you've then mastered the very fact that you're able to transmute and raise all the energies in all the lower chakras. And all the chakras are good. Let me stress that. They're all essential. They've all got wonderful functions. You know, I could go into those at length, but I won't. But once you've done that, you've also demonstrated that you've mastered the experience cycle of this earth. You can then move on, and then you'd either become an ascended master and volunteer to remain here, male or female, by the way. That term master isn't male particularly. And you'd stay here to help, or you'll go on then to another planet and gain interplanetary experience. And so it goes all the way through evolution.